At a time when the number of school shootings is at a record high, any threat of violence must be taken seriously.
But some say the San Diego Union High School District and the San Diego County District Attorney's Office go too far, punishing students who make perceived threats that turn out to be nothing. Tonight, a former Torrey Pines High School student breaks his silence to CBS 8's Marcella Lee, warning others even what they can say is a joke can land you in juvenile court to face felony charges and leave you with trauma.
He asked us to conceal his identity, still afraid of retaliation from the school district, prosecutors, and police.
Next thing I know is I have flashlights in my eyes, and no one's explaining anything to me. I have 4 police officers in my room telling me to get up.
Speaking in silhouette from his college dorm room, this 21-year-old says what happened to him when he was a 10th grader at Torrey Pines High School was so traumatizing, it still haunts him 5 years later.
The amount of shock I had, and it was my head was all over the place. It was probably midnight, and can you imagine getting woken up in the middle of the night? They're just telling you, like you're being arrested.
16 years old at the time, he was a straight-A student and star member of the Torrey Pines swim team, but his long and unkempt hairstyle stood out.
I had longer hair, and I received the nickname, like people nicknamed me School Shooter, and that was kind of amongst my friends, and it was more so of a joke than anything else.
That joke carried over to a private group on Snapchat with friends.
Someone made a comment, they said, "Shut up, you look like a school shooter," to which I responded, "I'm going to shoot up a school tomorrow."
He says everyone knew it was just dark humor, but 2 weeks later, he says, someone grabbed his phone and posted to a different Snapchat group this photo of an empty classroom with the caption, "Let's just remind people here I wanted to shoot up the school, but I forgot my backpack." That's when school administrators called San Diego police.
You're saying that wasn't even you who posted that?
No, it was not even me. I did not make those posts. The vernacular used in that post was not mine.
The sophomore was immediately suspended and then expelled from Torrey Pines. But his parents fought San Diego Union High School District's decision to expel, and they won. In June 2018, the San Diego County Board of Education overturned his expulsion after board members determined the school district abused its discretion, stating, quote, "The findings of a terrorist threat are not supported by the evidence." No weapons were found in his home. He passed a polygraph test about not making that second Snapchat post. But even though he was allowed to return to Torrey Pines, he still had to go through juvenile court.
What were the criminal charges against you, and what happened as a result of those?
In juvenile hall, I received 3 counts of a felony threat.
My son was arrested at 12 years old.
In December, we shared with you this mom's story. Her son was a 7th grader at Carmel Valley Middle School in the same district when he posted words to Snapchat she calls teenage slang, misinterpreted as a threat against his principal. 12 years old at the time, he was arrested at his home in Carmel Valley.
I was screaming and asking why were they there? Why are they arresting my son?
He too was cleared by the school district, but is now facing a felony charge.
Kids should not be punished like this.
She says no guns were found in the home. They don't have any weapons. So why the criminal component?
There's a school response piece, law enforcement response, and the prosecution response.
I sat down with San Diego County Deputy District Attorney Andrea Lopez, who works in the juvenile division, to get some answers.
So what if the student says, it was just a joke, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have done it, I apologize? Why are charges still filed in those cases?
Anybody can say anything about their intent. Somebody can say, I was just joking. But what's really missing in this conversation is the impact on the victims. Did the threat cause the victim to be in sustained fear? So it's not just the actions of the individual making the threat, it's how it impacted the person that received the threat.
We also learned California has a brand new law on the books, SB 906. Starting with the 2023-2024 school year, middle and high school administrators will be required to report all threats and perceived threats to law enforcement.
What we're asking them to do is be aware, be mindful, listen to the students who are reporting this information, do something about it, and communicate with law enforcement.
This former student is finally speaking out about his case to help others.
I'm forever impacted. My parents are. I'm pretty sure my mom has PTSD from the whole event.
In juvenile court, he received informal probation, which included community service, and his record was expunged. He's now part of a D1 college swim team, has a good future ahead of him, and wants to warn younger kids to be careful about what you say and post.
Stray away from saying those things at all. It doesn't matter in which way you say it. It depends on the person that's hearing it, even if it's in the context of a joke.
Marcella Lee, CBS 8.
Through a public records request, CBS 8 investigative producer Dorian Hargrove just obtained new documents that appear to show San Dieguito Unified High School District did not follow its own policies when investigating that 2018 school threat. For more in-depth coverage of this story, visit our website, cbs8.com.